the audience, the youngsters, everybody know more about Gandhi, more about Godse before they criticize them or say hail them. And I want them to see the film with open mind, not with prejudice, not with a strong opinion रखते हुए for or against Godse or for or against Gandhi. किसी बात को छुपा के रखने से वो बात खत्म नहीं होती है बल्कि दब जाती है और जब बात दबाई जाती है वो बात भयानक रूप से कई विस्फोट होता है. Definitely, I am going to do another subject on a similar line like अंदाज अपना अपना. I don't want to cash on. अगर कैश करना था I would have so many घायल्स. फिर आया घायल, आएगा घायल, मार देगा घायल. फिर चमकी दामिनी, फिर गिरी दामिनी, दामिनी लौट आई. My worry is that every film what I plan to do, my first thing comes is that I should not disappoint the audience. I owe that to the audience.
Hello everyone, welcome to ETimes. I'm Rajkumar Gupta. Today we are here to meet the team of Gandhi Godse Ek Yudh. Joining us are Deepak Antani sir, Rajkumar Santoshi sir and Chinmay Mandlekar sir. Hello sir, how are you?
Namaste, namaste, we are good.
Thank you so much.
Namaste sir.
Thanks Rajit.
Okay, so सर बहुत ही हार्ड हिटिंग फिल्म है. द ट्रेलर हैज मेड एन इम्पैक्ट. राजकुमार सर, स्टार्टिंग विद यू, where did you get the inspiration to tell this story? Because I believe this film has been in the making for quite some time now. So where did the germ of the idea come from?
See, I was interacting with Mr. Asghar Wazad. He's a very respected writer, playwright, and also does a lot of literature work. I am doing a film based on his play called Just Lahore Nahi Dekhiya or Jamiya Nahi. That is my next film. So during that discussion, he suggested me this play, a very small play, Godse at Gandhi.com. So when I read this play, I immediately decided this is something which one must make it a film. Though Asghar Saab didn't believe it.
Okay.
He said this is not a film material, this is just a thought exchange between two characters on the stage. But I saw cinematic possibility, A. B, also the thought, I thought to take it to the maximum number of people, as cinema is the best medium for that. So I immediately took the decision because lots of things are being said about Gandhiji and Godse. I have seen recent time, lot of people, they give, bad words, bad mouth about Gandhiji. And of course, Godse is accepted and known villain to many people because he killed Gandhi. They call him a terrorist also. But without knowing them, a real sense. And I also felt by injustice has happened to both the characters. Like Gandhiji, a lot of allegations are laid on him, but he never got an opportunity to explain all the allegations. People still accuse him for that. He died. Similarly, Godse, he gave a statement explaining the circumstances, the reason, what compelled him to take such a drastic act, such a drastic act. But for some strange reason, his voice was suppressed. But I'm really surprised because in a democratic setup, it is not done. That is why people misinformed, misguided, they have formed a different kind of opinion. So this film gives a platform to both Gandhi and Godse to express their thoughts, their ideology, and debate on them. Talk on them. And while you watch them, while you see them together facing each other, which never happened in real life, they never met.
Right.
I have taken a cinematic license. I go along with the history. Everything, every scene, every line spoken is history. And we have kept Godse's lines, dialogue as it is what he gave in a statement. Of course, in a constructive cinematic form. Gandhiji also, we kept his thought as it is. So it becomes a very interesting thing, and the audience, youngsters, everybody know more about Gandhi, more about Godse before they criticize them or say hail them.
Okay. But so when you, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, when you take a certain cinematic license or liberty to tweak an episode from history, are you sort of opening up your subject for more criticism?
Possible. It is possible because after the film is made, it is open. It's open for everyone to talk, say, comment. I'm okay with that. But one thing very confidently I can say, this exercise is done for the first time on Indian screen, Indian cinema. Couple of films have been attempted in the West where they have taken a chance, the probability, if Hitler would have won the war, what would have been the course of history. But in Indian screen, on Indian screen, in this film, nobody's attempted. this exercise. This is first of its kind. So I'm open for criticism after the film is released. Then it is for the people to say whatever they feel,
So
whatever they think.
what prompted you to go through with this experiment?
Sorry,
Why?
what prompted?
What prompted you to do this experiment? You said this has not been done before.
Because
So why change history? Because people say don't mess with history. You know, what is written is written.
no, already a lot of mess has been created regarding Gandhiji and Godse. People are interpreting according to their whims and fancies, according to the advantage they will get. They are using both the names, Gandhiji and Godse's name, to their advantage. So it is more than important for me to bring the factuals, the facts. And that can only come when we bring honestly Godse's version on the screen and Gandhiji's, take, what Gandhiji felt. Because there are a lot of things are written about Gandhiji. He himself has written a lot of books about his ideology, about his thoughts and everything. So it's more important for me to bring them.
Right. So I'll come back to you with other questions about the film, but I need to involve the wonderfully
go ahead.
talented actors that you
Please
have
go
as well. Chinmay sir, you're playing Nathuram Godse. He's, as Rajkumar sir said, he's a very polarizing character in history also. You know, there are people who sort of hate him. There are people who understand him. When you got this character, how did you approach it? I mean, what was your sort of mental preparation for such a polarizing character?
Well, my thought only was, I don't want to, मैं ना तो उन्हें भगवान बनाना चाहता हूँ ना शैतान बनाना चाहता हूँ. I want to see, look at Nathuram Godse as a human being, a young man who was a patriot, who was very idealistic, who ran a newspaper. He was editor of a newspaper, so an intellectual also, and pushed to corner due to the turbulent circumstances in the country. I'm sure he represented a section of youth which was very angry, which was very disillusioned at whatever happened after the independence. And what sets him apart, that he took a step or he did an action which nobody else did. So that is one thing that sets him apart. But apart from that, he is just a representation of angry youth of India at that time. So I look at Nathuram Godse in that way.
Okay. Chinmay sir, did it help you that you've played Shivaji? And
Shivaji Maharaj.
Shivaji Maharaj. So he's such a larger than life character, yet he's a character from history.
Yeah.
So the process, did that help you? Because you've played Shivaji Maharaj and this is also a very sort of written about, spoken character. So does that process sort of come naturally to you?
Yeah, I mean, see, it helps. All the processes, the process is different for different films. Like Rajji explained, this film, though it is about history, it is not a historical film.
True.
I describe it as a historical fantasy, where अगर ऐसा होता तो क्या होता? When हम ये what if जब पूछते हैं तो we go in the section of fantasy, you know. So circumstances are historical. Everything else is historical. The thoughts or the sentences that these people utter in the film, they are all real. But the situation created is not a historical situation. So in that way, this film is a little bit different. But yes, it helps you to understand history, to approach it, because the process remains the same. You go read about the character, you get to know him, you know, what happened. There are now, because about Nathuram Godse, there are no videos. There is an audio clip that is available, a 50-minute long speech that he finally gave in the court. And there are a few books that have been written. So yeah, that was the reference material. But coming from a background where, you know, you have done a few historicals, it helps you to understand it in a bit.
Right, right. Deepak, so very fascinating it was to read about, you have a very peculiar record of playing Gandhiji on like maximum number of times. So how did that happen? This is because you've played it on theatre.
I started with one of my play, Sardar Patel. There were only 3-4 scenes in it. So that time I took it very casually, like a mimicry artist, just I did. But it was very well received. And then one by one assignment kept coming on. And then I sincerely read about Gandhi, watched so many videos and all, and personal life also. I quit smoking, quit drinking, and I think it was predestined for me like that. Now looking back to the life, because what happened? Any unwanted, yeah, wrongly income from the left side, right side, that didn't stayed with me for 24 hours. Any wrong thing I couldn't sustain अगर करने गया तो भी. So that way automatically my image was created as a honest man.
So this was actually Gandhiji's, the research that you did on Gandhiji, was it the influence of that, or was it कि आप वो character play कर रहे थे तो वो एक expectation थी आपसे?
Expectations भी थी, and the way it was received, people coming after the show or literally they are doing like this, या तो फिर पैर पड़ जाते हैं. So that increases the sense of responsibility कि ये लोग मुझे इस तरह से accept करते हैं, तो then I should take it very seriously.
Okay. How many years have you been playing Gandhiji?
Since 2004.
Okay. Wow, that's a very long time. So Raj sir, was that obviously that must have been a huge influence in you casting Deepak sir for this role?
Yeah, when he came to me, he came with the photographs and album, all the plays and serial wherever he played Gandhi. So it became easy for me to take a decision. But besides that, I also, when I met him as a person, I was very impressed by the humility. Playing Gandhi so many times, somewhere Gandhi has come into him. So I was very impressed. That's why I took the decision instantly.
Okay. Okay. Chinmay sir, I have to ask you this again. Nathuram Godse is a character that has been portrayed in cinema before by several actors. So does that become a reference point for you? Do you sort of actively try to avoid it? How do you sort of approach that situation?
No, absolutely not. Because wherever Nathuram Godse has come in cinemas, it has been only for that one incident where, the film that I remember is Hey Ram. Kamal Hassan sir's Hey Ram, where
his
they have
character
actually
is-
shown.
And even Gandhi,
And even in Richard
only one scene
Attenborough's
he comes
Gandhi.
and he shoots him.
So in that way, I am lucky that there is no overwhelming reference point. Okay, पहले इन्होंने like with Gandhi, it is very difficult because Ben Kingsley has done Gandhi, Nasiruddin Shah sir has done Gandhi, Annu Kapoor ji has done Gandhi. There are so many people. But with Nathuram Godse, people have seen very less of him. In Marathi, on Marathi stage, there has been a very long-running play on Nathuram Godse. But that was never my reference point because the script here was different.
But if I'm not mistaken, that play was banned, na?
Initially it was, but then
then
it ran. It ran
But
for
was it
many
for the
years.
same reasons that people didn't want to see him as a hero?
Some people.
Okay.
Not as a hero, they just did not, because the name, there was a name Nathuram Godse, they just said banned. That was the initial take, that was many years back, but after that court gave the order and the play was passed. It has been a very long running chapter in Marathi theatre history. But after that, the play came on stage, it ran for many shows, like if I'm not wrong, more than 500 shows. So it happened.
Right.
And for me, my reference point was my script.
Right.
And my reference point was this man who is sitting next to me.
Right.
That's
right.
it.
Raj sir, I have to ask you this. You decide to make a film on Gandhi and Godse. I'm pretty sure you must have been prepared that there will be a political backlash. So, I mean, what sort of preparations did you have? Were you sort of expecting the kind of reactions you've got? And how did you prepare for all of this?
See, nothing to prepare. Now, as I was hearing, Chinmay and it was banned earlier and they released it, etc., etc. To put it simply, I will say, I respect people of our country. I love the people of our country, and I strongly feel they're very responsible. They are responsible. So I trust them also, and I'm concerned for them. That is my love for the people. I made this film so to understand कि किसी बात को छुपा के रखने से वो बात खत्म नहीं होती है, बल्कि दब जाती है, और जो बात दबाई जाती है वो बात भयानक रूप से कहीं विस्फोट होता है. मेक इट इजी, लेट पीपल नो. तो आज गोडसे के बारे में जो प्रॉब्लम्स आए हैं, ये जो बातचीत हो रही है या controversies create हो रहे हैं, whatever it is all because his voice was suppressed for 70 long years. It would have been easy. सुन लेते थे एक बार. Why we are so scared? What do you think that because they will hear Godse and they all will become take a drastic action? No. And Godse also himself, the more I read about him or understood him, he also doesn't preach violence. So just don't judge him by one act. Don't call him name by one act. So understand him, read him. So I have no fear as such. And whatever the preview we had so far, even the censor preview, everything, I never got any negative, not even one negative comment on the film.
I mean, I sort of appreciated that reaction from quarters that have supported the film as well, wherein they said that, पहले film देख लो और फिर react करो.
Exactly.
So I mean,
that's how it should be.
So how do, I mean, a filmmaker like yourself, how do you sort of even approach
Sorry.
it? Do you hold special screenings for these
No. Why is a
political
special
parties?
screening for some few people? The film will be open, released. It's for everybody. Anyone can go and see the film, and I want them to see the film with open mind, not with prejudice, not with a strong opinion रखते हुए for or against Godse or for or against Gandhi. They must see the film with a clear mind, and I'm 100% sure. All the reviews, whatever I got now, they will have no complaints.
Right.
They'll be more than satisfied, and they will also see the intention of the makers. It is not a propaganda film. I am not into any party. Neither I am supporting any party as such. So they will see that. And that is why in the censor also we got a U certificate. And they said this film should be seen in the school and colleges. It's a big word, a big compliment for me. So young mind, they all must see the film. So I'm very sure, I'm not scared, neither I'm worried that some major controversy will come or people will criticize. No.
I mean, especially for me, sir, when of late, whenever I've seen the best performing films of late have been those films which have been inspired by Indian history. You could take the Kashmir Files, you could take RRR for that matter. We are recreating an Indian history. So was that the thought behind doing this subject as well for you?
Not. I didn't have those thoughts. Kashmir Files was shot simultaneously. It was not released at that time when we were making the film. Both the film shooting were happening simultaneously.
Right.
And Triple R had released. Triple R is not a history. Though
It's
it
a
is a
recreation.
period film, but it is a mainstream mass entertainer, I would call. Ours is a serious cinema.
Of course.
Ours is a serious cinema. And the characters are real characters. It is not a fictitious character. The Triple R is a fictitious character.
Right. So I also have to ask you, you're clashing with Pathan in
Am I?
theaters. I mean, in a sense, you guys are going to be in the theaters at the same time. Would have been wiser to go to OTT, or does that not matter?
See, I wanted maximum number of people to see.
Right.
So OTT was never the option for me. I never thought of going to OTT. I want to see the film in theater with the audience. Even my wish, even I'll go with the audience, I'll see the film. And for me, the date was first we thought of releasing the film on 2nd October. Because the post-production was taking time. We had to try to do the best post-production work. Then the second option was 30th Jan, the day the incident took place.
The incident.
So we chose 26th Jan because this week we get 30th Jan also.
Yeah.
And later on I came to know about Pathan. Pathan again, my good friend Shah Rukh Khan is the lead man and huge star and a very good actor, very good person. And it's been produced by a very respected banner, Yashraj Banner, and the big film. So I have only best wishes for them.
Right.
So they have a different audience. And Pathan, after the people see Pathan, then I welcome to see my film
Gandhi
also.
Godse as well.
Something thought-provoking, something to debate on, something to talk about, something to take home.
Right.
Okay.
On the subject of stars, sir, you've directed a lot of stars throughout your career. So Chinmay sir, Deepak sir, he's worked with the list of Bollywood stars. So when you guys were starting work with him, did you guys have any sort of expectations, notions from him as a filmmaker? That he might have a process, how will we fit into that?
No, I was just quite overwhelmed. That's it. That was my only feeling for at least first 5 days on the set.
Okay.
That I am working with Rajkumar
Santoshi, sir.
Because if you go on Wikipedia and if you see his films and the stars associated, it is a very happy feeling to know that tomorrow your film name will also be there.
Be in that.
So it's a quite fulfilling feeling.
Right, right. Deepak sir, what were your expectations of sir as a storyteller?
Same, but I was, expecting some workshop kind of thing he will do. He also said that we will have a 1 week or 5 days workshop I want to take. But somehow, due to last minute some changes, he could not cope up with the workshop and all.
And we shot during COVID. That was one big
Shot during
factor.
COVID. And there was no audition was taken. Only we were discussing script and reading and all. So I was worried about how would he like my performance. How would he had imagined Gandhi. So before 2-3 days, I asked Sir ki, Sir, we have not done any audition. At least when Chinmay ji is here, let's have a reading of one scene. So we had a reading of one scene. That time I imitated Gandhiji's voice. I imitated Gandhiji's voice very near. So only he gave instruction that don't imitate Gandhiji's voice because it's a sing song. So आप थक जाओगे and audience will also get bored. So you just speak as Deepak Antani, as a gentleman, as a good old. That was the only instruction he gave. Rest all was on floor.
Right, but it must be so refreshing to get that kind of insight from a senior filmmaker like him, right?
Of course, of course. And there was also one little discussion about Gandhiji. He speaks sure. Instead of ahimsa, he says ahinsa. So that was also a matter of discussion. But he kept me open. Whatever you feel like, you can say sure. You can say sure. I am open to it.
Okay, okay. Final question, Rajkumar sir, for you. I have to ask you this because, my generation, we've literally grown up watching Andaz Apna Apna for like probably 1,000 times. So when you make a film like, say, a Gandhi Godse, and you also make great comedies, what is the creative process like, sir? I mean, do you sort of pick and choose, or do these stories come to you? Because normally a filmmaker who makes comedy wants to stick to comedy, yet you've dabbled with so many genres. So what is your thought process like when you're selecting these stories?
See, I'm a story writer myself. I write stories, screenplay and dialogue. Sometimes some good work is brought to my notice, like Asghar Wazaz Saab's. I adapt a play also. But the first rule I set for myself is that do justice to the subject, any subject. If I'm doing an action subject, I will do full justice to it. I will not mix up. So put little humor or put little this, little that. Whatever the subject is, be honest to the subject. When I'm doing a courtroom drama like Damini, we had Nadeem Showan as the music director in the film. He was very, very popular, immensely popular. There was a lot of pressure on me, you must put a couple of more songs. We had only 2 or 3 songs, that is the first half. Once the courtroom starts, the drama starts, I didn't keep any song. There was no song. Because I thought it will take away the intensity, the drama, what I'm doing. So that is very, very important. Like I'm doing Andaz Apna Apna, I didn't get any drama, though people say drama is my forte. I'm very good at drama, I'm very good at action.
Yeah.
But I don't bring that Rajkumar Santoshi when I'm doing Andaz Apna Apna. I create a different world where humor, music, that is there. So innocence is there. So that is how I create. So any subject, for example, tomorrow I'm planning to do a mythological. So I will go into that world and I do justice to that world, those characters. That is the only thing.
Coming from a big fan, sir, I have to ask you the $1 million question. Is a sequel possible to Andaz Apna Apna?
See, I don't believe in sequels. See, there's so many umpteen ideas are there, many stories are there to be told. I have done a lot of script myself. But definitely, I am going to do another subject on a similar line like Andaz Apna Apna. I don't want to cash on. अगर cash करना था, I would have done so many घायल्स. फिर आया घायल, आएगा घायल, मार देगा घायल, फिर चमकी दामिनी, फिर गिरी दामिनी लौट आई. I could have done that, made money, because that is a very easy way to make a film a brand. I don't want to do that. I never wanted to do that. That is why neither Khaki or any film, any of my film, the very popular films, but I never repeat them. Never repeat the character. I go ahead. Bana diya. People copy it. People they take inspiration and they make their own version. So, but same genre. A musical comedy is there. Perhaps in this Diwali, I may announce the two young guys, two young girls, on a same note, same way like Andaz Apna Apna. It can turn better than Andaz Apna Apna, or it can be as good as Andaz Apna Apna, or it is less than Andaz Apna Apna. So it is titled Ada Apni Apni.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that is there in the thing. I'm working on it. More or less the script is ready.
Okay.
It's again a comedy, full on comedy, and a good music.
Nice. And I can assure you, sir, millions of fans will be looking forward to it.
Yes, and my worry is that every film what I plan to do, my first thing comes is that I should not disappoint the audience. I owe that to the audience. I try to be that is why in search of perfection, trying to be perfect, to give a good product, I always exceed budget also, and very unpopular with the producers because of this reason. But this, now I'm become producer myself again.
Right.
I made 3 films earlier, Ghatak, Lajja and China Gate. So now again I'm producing films. So if a loss over budget hoga to mere sar pe. But I will not disappoint the audience at any cost. I will try to do a good job, honest job, so they can enjoy, cherish.
Cool. Those are golden words, sir. And let me wish all three of you best of luck for Gandhi and Godse.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us at ETimes.
Thanks.